Welcome to this very short video which is designed to show you how the XBRL Flat database, our new database, works with the XBRL Sheet example. The XBRL Flat database has been created from the new SEC structured data sets which are now available. This database differs from our XBRL Sheet database in that it's smaller in terms of number of items and is not as up to date. Now, before you can bring any data down, you need to get yourself a security token, which you can pick up from our website, and you need to insert it in this box here as indicated. Now, before we do that, let's look at what happens when you don't have a token. So if we go to our first filing via this handy hypertext link here, and we refresh data for the first filing, it's a web query, so we just click on refresh, right click refresh, and it brings the data down. We see that we've got data down for Microsoft, which is not quite what we asked for. We asked for data for IBM. Because what happens if there's a token of 0, it does bring some data down, some example data for Microsoft for its latest 10K. Now, if you want to look at anything other than Microsoft, you need to get yourself a up-to-date security token, which you can get from our website, xbrlxl.com. So we'll do that right now. Basically, you log in or register, and right next to it, this token will appear in this box here. So you just copy that across and slap it in your token box there. And this is valid for 24 hours, and then you can get yourself another token. So once we've got that token in place, and we go back to our first filing, and again, right-click to refresh our web query, it will bring back data for IBM. So that's great, that's how it works, and it gives you some idea of how quickly we are able to bring this data down. Let's maybe bring down another company as well, just to show you how you bring down one filing after another. So yeah, let's maybe get data back for Google. So there we go, and let's select our second filing, and again, refresh. We've got no data here at all, so let's see some data come in for the first time, and oh, hasn't brought any data in whatsoever. Now let's see what the message is for that. It says this report has been filed but is too new to be in the XBRL Flat quarterly database. So seeing it's a quarterly database, not surprisingly it's only updated once a quarter, but the index we use to ascertain whether a filing is available is completely up to date, and in fact it's the same index we use for XBRL Sheet. So it's basically saying it's there, but it's not available in XBRL Flat because the data just is not in that database. And we had this little helpful message here telling you that you might want to go to XBRL Sheet because it will be in that database. Now if we go back to the search sheet, I'll show you a little trick that we have in this particular XBRL Sheet example sheet. And if we get rid of this ticker here, and we just have one ticker in the first ticker slot, as it were, and it doesn't actually have to be a ticker. It could be, for example, a CIK code, a central index code as well, but whatever it is, if there's one in there and you then click on data refresh all, what it will do is it will bring back more than one filing, which is what's happening now. So it's taking a little bit longer because it's got to bring them all back. It's brought them all back. So yeah, just to prove a point, let's go to well, filing number 3, because there was nothing there before. And you will see that we now have some information for IBM in the third slot. And if we go all the way back to the final filing 5, you will see that we have data there as well, and you will see it's for an earlier period, because if we go all the way back to the search sheet, you will see that it set the dates automatically for 1 year preceding the other, going all the way back to 2010 for IBM, which is great. So it just means that it speeds up having to bring back a whole host of filings if you want to do some horizontal analysis on a company. So let's have a quick look at the data. What are we looking at? So if we go to the first filing, the latest filing will show us what we're getting. We start with some reference data, which is exactly the same as we do with XBRL Sheet. The data is slightly different because we are trying to stay as true to the SEC structured data sets as possible, so that's where we're retrieving this data from wherever possible. And so yeah, that's why these ones are slightly different. We have had to bring back a trading symbol from our own database because that's not available, which is basically the ticker. It's not available from the SEC structured data sets. And you may also notice that there is an SIC code missing for IBM. In this case, that's because the SIC codes are brought back per filing, and for some reason or other, IBM haven't made that available in their latest filing. But if, for example, we were to go back to, I don't know how far we have to go back, maybe filing 4, we will see that there is an SIC code for some of the earlier filings, so it's sort of available. We might have to change that. We might have to bring back our SIC codes, which are not held per filing but are held on a company basis, so we can always bring that info back. So yes, so we've got the reference data here, and then as you go down you get the financial statements. As we said, it's just a financial statement, so let's go up again. You'll see the income statement, the balance sheet further down here, and the parent balance sheet, and the cash flow, and that's what you get. And as I said, we've tried to stay true to XBRL Sheet as well, bring it down in that same format, so you're getting all the same data, apart from the fact you're not getting the standard tags, which are only available in our XBRL Sheet database. So then all of that data, as you may be familiar with if you've ever used XBRL Sheet, is then transposed in effect into our standard sheet, which is where you have the chance to modify any of that data as you see fit, and then those particular data items then feed straight into our model so that you can do some analysis. This model is just very simple, very example model, just to show you the kind of stuff that you can build from that raw data that we enable you to bring down as web queries. So that is the data pretty much. Oh, you may be wondering what these section things are, and I haven't shown anyone anywhere anything about these. It's really designed principally, or the idea for this really came from our sector free product, which will also be available via our XBRL Sheet downloads, but you can use it with XBRL Flat, because we've tried to sort of basically put it in to our existing products wherever possible. And what you get here is a list of all the different sections, as the financial statements in this case, that the company has disclosed. And if you click on one of these, you will see that they are hyperlinks, and if we're very lucky, it will take us to somewhere quite interesting. And if you click on it again, because I probably didn't click on it properly first time round, it will take you to the interactive data page for that particular statement on the SEC website. So it can take you directly to a link to how the data has been formatted there. So that might be quite handy. As well as being able to do that from this particular page, and I'll just get rid of that, you can also specify which particular statements you want to see. So you may just want to see the income statements for each company. So if you want to do that, you just copy the number across. We want the second section for this particular filing, and if we then go back to our filing here and refresh it, we can refresh it from anywhere in the data query. It will then just bring back data for that particular section. It's done that, and you can see that we've got the income statement, and that's all we've got because that's all we specified. So yes, a lot of flexibility there, and that particular functionality will really come into its own when we allow sector-free data into XBRL Sheet as well. But this is not about XBRL. More precisely, it's not about sector free, it is about XBRL Flat. This is what you can do with this data. I will probably also put together a video showing you how to build a queries from scratch for XBRL Flat. So if you don't want to use any of this framework we've created, but you want to create your own models and XBRL functionality, or Excel functionality to be more precise, from our web queries that we set up, you can do that, and we will show you exactly how to do that in the next video.